Okay, guys. Hey, yeah, I had plans earlier to, there was that methaqualone video I wanted to do, on quaaludes and their synthesis and all that, because I found that pretty little article on Arrowhead from the, old rhodium archives. But a couple days ago at school, my friend David was fucking off in class reading the Encyclopedia Dramatica. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically a Wikipedia parody, except it's better and more correct on most things, because if you edit it to say something's good, you generally get trolled and fucked over, and they change it back to whatever it was before. And to be honest, it's just plain fucking funny. And so I was going through and I was reading it today because he sent me a link to read the religious page, and I clicked on Catholics just to see what their take on that was. And I'm reading it, and it sounds pretty much right to me. And I go to the bottom of the page finally, and there's this video in it, and it's a little, I assume, Hispanic child, maybe 19 years old at most, basically trashing every religion but Catholicism, which is in and of itself a hypocritical fuck thing to do. Is here's the thing about religion, and this is my opinion, by the way. If you don't believe this, that's fine. This video isn't about my opinion on religion, okay? This is about this little douchebag, but I'll get to that, and I can get to that in my own time, because, again, 15 plus minutes. Woo! Anyway, this little douchebag basically goes on to trash every other religion, whether or not it be a real religion or a philosophy. I think he starts with Jews, and he basically calls them Satanistic Christ killers, for lack of a better term. And I don't even know what just happened. I just totally skipped what I was going to say about religion, so forget what I fucking just said. Totally worthless what I just said. Forget that for now. But anyway, all religions are pretty much based on the same thing. There's a person in the sky who's watching you, who at one point, well before you existed, someone tried to overthrow him, called Satan or Beelzebub, or whatever the fuck you want to call him. I really don't give a shit, because I think it's all fake anyway, as it's a ploy to make money off you and control what you do, so that they can tell you what to do and make you do what they want. Because if they're right, you're fucked if you don't do what they say. And if you're wrong, well, you might as well just do it anyway, because you never know if you're right or wrong. Because nobody fucking prove it, but, technically, I think if there's a God and I'm following their rules, he'd rather have someone of conviction who at least sticks with their beliefs, whether or not they believe in something, than just saying, oh, well, you said I wasn't real, so fuck you, you're going to hell forever and ever and ever. Even though in the Bible it says eventually Judgment Day will come and blah, 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 you all go to heaven. Big deal. And pretty much every other religious text, it says you're never going to be in hell forever, no matter what they say, you're just being there for a very long fucking time. But anyway, it all basically believes in the same thing. There's a guy above you who's going to judge you when you die, and there's a guy below you who, if you piss off the guy above you, is basically going to fuck you in the ass with a pitchfork and a pineapple. A big pineapple. The big end first. I mean, you can't keep a grip on that, that hurts. And for those of you who get that reference, I'm not proud of you. That movie really sucked. Sound like I shouldn't say that. I really shouldn't. He's actually quite good a comedian. But beyond that, and that's basically it. They're basically things that make you believe there's someone above you who's going to fuck you over, and someone below you who's going to do the actual over fucking, if you know what I mean. It's basically to make you do what they want and make you pay them money so they don't have to do shit in life other than tell you you're a bad person, you're going to die and go to hell, and punished for X amount of eternities, which apparently is a real thing. So, anyway, beyond that, besides the fact all religion is a fucking hypocrisy and a lie to begin with, again, my opinion, not yours. If you don't believe me, that's fine. That's your view. I'm not going to stop you from believing that. I just want you to know you're being deceived. If there is a God, he doesn't want you murdering everyone else and telling them they have to follow your way. He definitely doesn't want that. Because that's like the exact opposite of every prophet's tenets ever. So, anyway, beyond that shit, because, again, that's not what this video is about. That's just a precursor thing to what I'm talking about. There's this kid, and I'll put his, his YouTube page in the link below, and probably up here somewhere, at some point, in an annotation. And I'll put a link to the video, too. Definitely down in the link, probably at the bottom, considering I've already written out the link descriptions, and the description for this video. Anyway, sorry, gotta adjust that. Anyway, he basically goes on like a, I think it's like a 4 or 5 minute diatribe on why all religions but Catholicism are wrong, starting with Jews, going to the Muslims, and then going to the Buddhists, which, by the way, Buddhist, not a religion. At least, not to the majority of people. It's actually a fucking philosophy that tells you you should act kindly to your brothers, which is basically the same thing most Orthodox Christians, which is actually the first version of Christianity. So fuck you, Catholics. You're not the first. It was the Orthodox. That's why they're closer to the Middle East than you. And that's why they're not in fucking Rome, jerking themselves and fucking little boys in the butt. I'm sorry to tell you, but most priests are pedophiles. It's a religion to endorse pedophilia, and if you don't believe that, look up church pedophile scandals. You'll find a lot of fucking things in Google. They are horrible. Also, look at the encyclopedia dramatica link below. Because trust me, it's all true, and they have links to videos proving it. That are news videos, like from an actual news source, like ABC, X channel in whatever fucking state. Who gives a shit spill? That was really fucked up sounding. Sorry, I have a TV on. I just have that on as background noise so you don't hear my radio over there, that piece of shit. Anyway, where was I? Trying to think. Oh, yes. Anyway, he basically goes on a diatribe about how all the religions, Jews, Muslims, Buddhists, Satanists, which again, not an actual religion, it's a religion, basically gives people the excuse to do whatever they want and be barbaric animals, and I think you shouldn't need a religion to act like a civilized fucking human being and not run around going, fuck you, stabby, stabby, stab. You should be able to do that on your own. You're a big boy or you're a big girl. You don't need religion to tell you not to murder people for no reason. It's like fucking furries. That's another story for another day. You don't need someone to tell you you should fuck an animal in the butt. You should know that. It's not right, man. That's not right. It's not culturally accepted. But once again, moving on. Ooh, wow, my computer's glowing in my face. I'm sorry. I just noticed that on the screen. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, I look down at the screen a lot. It happens. Sorry, I get distracted by myself easily. I'm a little bit of a narcissist like that. Not part of the video. Sorry. Moving on. Anyway, so he goes on this diatribe about how all the other religions are bad. And he basically says this. You can identify all the religions by X amount of signs. For instance, he says you can identify Jews by wearing a yarmulke, which is just really a funny hat, in his words. And fake curly hair, which again, it's not fake generally if they're Orthodox. They actually groom it into curly hairs. And while I personally don't believe in Judaism, and I have a problem with Israel for completely political reasons, and not at all for the fact they're Jews, but more for the fact they stole land from Palestinians, and they continue to do so by breaking their own rules about not making settlements over certain lines. Once again, tertiary to this argument and this problem. This kid's he's a Hitler. That's what it comes down to. He's like fucking Hitler, for lack of a better term. If he had his choice, I guarantee you he would kill off all other religions and atheism and agnosticism because they're not Catholic enough. And just so you know, I'm doing this when nobody's in my home because a few members of my family are Catholic and they would probably be very unhappy with me about this if they saw me actually making this. So I prefer not to get them involved if I don't have to. Anyway. And then he says you can identify Buddhists because they have stereotypical Asian squinty eyes and orange robes and braids, and they're just a bunch of filthy hippies, which is, again, bullshit. Buddhists aren't hippies. Hippies tend to be Buddhists. There's a difference. Trust me on this one. There's definitely a difference. I know plenty of hippies who aren't Buddhists, and I know plenty of Buddhists who definitely are not hippies. They wear normal clothing like the rest of us, and they're not vegan or anything, so I wouldn't be too worried. Anyway. And he says you can identify Muslims because they all have a bunch of olive-skinned bitches who want to kill us or something like that. Something about beards, I remember. I'm really not watching it right now because if I did that, I'd probably have to blow my brains out like that right onto my fucking wall. And I don't want to do that because I don't want to make myself Ann Hero. And if you don't know what Ann Hero is, again, encyclopedia dramatica link. After you're done reading the Catholic part, go to the search bar on the side, type in Ann Hero, exactly as I just said it. A-N space H-E-R-O. And hero. Basically means to kill yourself for whatever fucking reason. So, moving on. And he basically just sits there being a fucking absolute bigot about religions, which is absolute bullshit, because he says, and I quote this, Jews are known for killing Christian babies. How do I begin to describe the fucking hypocrisy of that statement? Let's start with the Inquisition of the 15 and 1600s, the Catholic Inquisition in Spain, or at least it started there and quickly spread to quite a few other places in Europe, where you weren't a Catholic, they tortured your ass till you admitted God was real and Jesus was your savior, and then off with your fucking head. That's how it worked. They killed you once you admitted Jesus was real, so you go to heaven. After they baptize you, of course, because, you know, saying a fucking couple of words and throwing some water on you, that means something, like, totally. It's all bullshit. Anyway, moving on. Because apparently I'm going to become a crackhead. Second. I'm just going to check something. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I thought I just heard someone knocking on my door. Sorry. Just had to check, make sure no one was here at the door. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yes, religious hypocrisy, all that shit. And he's basically making up reasons why any religion other than Catholicism is an evil satanic piece of shit, which in reality is the most Hippocratic thing I've heard, sort of the Hippocratic oath itself, and that's a whole other type of Hippocratic, okay? So, I'm going to get to my actual response to this now, which means I'm going to have to watch the video, more or less, even though I fucking don't want to at all. So, I'm going to be stopping the video until I reach a point where I can criticize this little fuck, and then I'm going to expect you to go and watch it, as I'm going to put the link in the fucking description. Once again, and I apologize for my language, this shit pisses me off so much. I really want to punch him in his big little mouth and say, you're a fuck. Do you realize how stupid you are? Have you looked at what Catholicism has done to the world? You really can't prove you're right. Oh, I'm also going to be putting in the link below a link to the playlist for the foundational falsehoods of creationism. For one reason. If you go through it, I remember very specifically there's a couple videos where they basically go to prove why creationism is wrong, with one of the reasons being, if creationism is true, that implies some form of religion has to be true, and it makes an argument that's very good about why religion is wrong to begin with, just so you can get a general idea of why this kid is so fucking stupid. It's not completely related, but it's related enough, I'm going to put it in there. So, give me a second, I'll be right back to give you some grand criticism of this little shit. That will probably be a horrible diatribe against him and scathe him, and I'm going to then urge you to troll him and give me many lulz. So, 1 minute. I'm also going to go get some water. I'm thirsty. So, I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm back. I'm sorry for the laughter you just saw. As stupid as that looked. Because less than, I think, like, what, maybe less than 15 seconds into the video, with about 5 seconds of silence at the beginning because he's apparently a retard who doesn't know how to use a computer, because he's a fucking idiot, who hasn't been around apparently long enough. Right off the bat, he says something very stupid that I have to urge myself not to punch him in the mouth, or find where he lives just to do so. Because he actually missays, that's fucking stupid, I'm retarded too. I'll admit that much. He mispronounces Catholicism. He doesn't even say his own religion's name right. He says Catholicism. Catholicism. Okay? I don't think I have to explain to any Catholics out there how stupid he sounds, because he really does sound like an absolute fool. But, anyway, I just had to throw that in there just so you guys know. So, now I'm going to go back to watching the video real quick to find another thing to have many lulz about, and so on and so forth. Okay, right off the bat, into his first diatribe on the first religion he mentions, which is Judaism, once again, which he pronounces incorrectly and just calls them the Jews. You know, like, they came and killed his puppy and fucked his mommy when daddy wasn't home, or something. I don't know why, but that's the reference I had in my head for that one. Right off the bat, he says, and I quote this, they're stupid because they don't read the New Testament. They've had 200 years to switch to it, which is a fucking wrong to begin with. Actually, I'm going to go back and just make sure he said 200 years, because that can't be right. He can't be that dumb, really, can he? Can he really be that dumb? He could. Okay, my original suspicions were wrong. He's not that dumb. He said 2000, which I'll give him, that's kind of correct. Kind of correct, okay? I'll give him that much. He was correct on the amount of years. He wasn't saying 200. I misheard. Anyway, he basically says they're stupid because they haven't switched to the New Testament, which kind of goes against, how do I say that? It goes against the very nature of the religion, considering we stole the Old Testament from them. It's called the Torah. Look it up. Every Jewish holy book is what the Old Testament is. We took that, we made it the Old Testament, and then we added our shit in, because, not we, because I'm not a fucking Christian, but the Christians added their shit in, and they're like, we're better than you, because we have more. Fuck you, our dicks are bigger, because we have a bigger book. Which, to me, sounds like the work of a god with a tiny, tiny dick. And for any of you who get that reference to weeds, I'm actually proud of you for that one, because Showtime is fucking expensive. So, anyway, I'm going to go back to the video now. Besides the fact this kid's already an idiot, and I'm sorry for that. I need to take more Sudafed. That sounded like a drug reference. It was not. But I'll be right back when I get more shit to laugh at this kid about. Fucking idiot. Okay, yeah. Less than 2 seconds later, he says another stupid thing. He says, and I quote this, Jews are stupid, evil creatures. I'm going to let that sink into you for a moment. He said, Jews are, quote, stupid, evil creatures, as if they are not human beings. They are a beast summoned from the bowels of the earth by my penis to whack off in his face and rape mommy and daddy. And yes, I know my imagery is gruesome and fucked up, but you know what? It fits his stupidity. It really does. It fits his idiocy and his bigotry and his borderline Nazism. It really does. It's sad how well it fits his borderline Nazism. And if you'll notice in the corner, I'm very proud of this. Totally unrelated. I'm over 15 minutes and I can still upload this. I'm still super happy about that. It's an accomplishment for me. Because I really suck at what I do. Yes, that was self-degradation you just heard. Anyway, yeah, that's off topic, so I'm going to stop talking about it. Anyway, I'll be back when I find another thing to laugh about. I just said lol. I don't know why. Anyway, yeah, I'll be back. Okay, now he says, and this is less than 3 or 4 seconds after I went back to the page to click on play again, the YouTube page. He says they should all be deported to this island, which is essentially what they've already done. It's called Israel. They stole Palestine, if you didn't know history. And it's sad because that history is less than 50, 60 years old. And no, I'm not saying they stole Palestine because they're Jews. I'm saying they stole Palestine because there were legitimate Palestinian citizens living there beforehand. And they said, oh, we're God's chosen people, and Hitler tried to kill us all, so you know what? You should give us land. Woo! And no, that's not a diatribe against Jews. That's a diatribe against the state of Israel itself. I have no problem with Jews wanting to live in Palestine. But saying that they should be able to take someone else's land who has legitimate legal claims to it because they're Jews and Hitler tried to kill them all off is bullshit. They could have lived there gladly well before that if they wanted to. They didn't need to say, oh, well, you're not Jewish, and this is now Israel, so fuck you, get out of your house so I can bowl it over with a bulldozer. And don't tell me it doesn't happen, because it's still happening today. It's called they're stealing settlements. But, I'm sorry, that's off topic. Whatever, I'm going to go back again. I'll be right back. I'm going to stop saying I'll be right back. I'm just going to start and stop this as I go from now. So if it skips around a bit and what you see my face doing, like this, it's because I've stopped and started again to look at more things, because I'm not going to watch this as I go, because that's just too much fuck work. So, I'll be back, and I'm not going to splice it in either. I expect you to fucking watch it yourself. If you're a big boy or girl, you can do this. I trust you. No. Okay, just got to the next part where he says, and I also heard they murdered Christian children for sacrifices. One, no they didn't. That was Catholic propaganda spread against the Jews and by many other Catholic and Protestant nations in the medieval times and in the Romantic and Renaissance eras of time against Jews because they weren't Catholic. It's basically started by the Catholic Church as part of the Inquisition. It really is not true. They did not take Catholic and Christian babies just to kill off for sacrifices. It didn't happen. It really didn't. Although, I can't say that the Catholics are much better because, if I remember correctly, they took Jewish people, told them, say Jesus is real or we'll kill you, And the minute they said Jesus is real, after many, many days and hours of torture, they killed them anyway. They're fucking... They're no better than what they claim the Jews are, which the Jews aren't. I know Jews. They don't kill babies. Trust me, they don't. Okay, yep. He said it. He said it. He said, Orthodox Jews are the worst. He said, and I quote this, they are the worst. You need to watch out for them because they are hardcore. I have no clue what that means. I don't know what he means, they're hardcore. Is he talking religiously? Because they're hardcore. Guess who else is hardcore? Every group of Christians ever. Because they go to a church. That's what a religion is. It's hardcore stupidity on a mass scale. And if a psychiatrist evaluated them and they didn't know what religion was, you know what they call that? Mass schizophrenia. That's what they call that. There's an actual form of schizophrenia where it's the same thought or group of thoughts shared by multiple peoples. It's ballet à trois or something like that. Basically means the thought of many. It's a form of schizophrenia. If people didn't know what religion was and they were psychiatrists, they diagnose you with fucking schizophrenia. To be honest, I diagnosed Scientologists with schizophrenia without even needing to know them. But once again, offbeat. And surprisingly, he doesn't mention them once. Fucking Scientologists, he doesn't mention them once. So, anyway, yeah. Yep, this kid's just as dumb as I thought. He's proven it to me in less than what? In less than a minute of actual talking, he's proven to me how fucking fucktarded he is. He said that he does not accept them as a religion, and then he backpedals and goes, okay, well, I do accept them as a religion and being 100% right, but not anymore. He basically backpedals, forward pedals, backpedals, forward pedals, and acts in the course of like a minute from bad, good, bad. No, that's too many. He backpedals from bad to good, back to bad. He goes back and forth. He's a fucking flip-flopper in what he's saying, basically. He sounds like an idiot. He says, and I quote this, I accept that they are 100% right, except not anymore since Jesus came along, which he can't actually prove Jesus came along, other than a book that was written, like, almost 2,000 years ago, or more, or whatever the fuck, I don't really care, because I don't believe it's real, says so. Because a book he can't prove the authenticity of says Jesus came, so it must be right, you know, because everything you read is always right, especially things you can't authentify or prove, like Wikipedia. That's essentially what the Bible is. It's 2,000 years ago. It's that form of a fictional Wikipedia. At least with Wikipedia, you need to cite shit. So there's that on that one. I'll be back. Okay, the Muslims, he doesn't even have an argument against, because he's finally gotten to that where I'm watching it. He doesn't even have an argument against the Muslims other than they don't believe in Jesus, so they're going to hell. And, quote, they believe their prophet came in the year 600. Yes, they believe their prophet came in the year 600. It is not the year 600 to them. It is another year altogether. I can't tell you which off the top of my head, but it sure as shit is not the year 600. In fact, I'll be right back with what year they think it was in their calendar. Okay, yeah, this kid obviously doesn't understand what he's talking about because I just looked it up. They believe he came around in the year 11. Muhammad came around in the year 11 to the Muslims, not the year 600. They do not believe in the year 600 as the year of as Muhammad's birth. It's 11 to them. Not 600 or 500, whatever the fuck. 11. I don't know if he can get that through his skull, but he probably should try. Because they don't believe he came around in 600. He thinks they believe they came around in 600 because he's following a Christian calendar. By their calendar, it's 11. It's the Arabic calendar. Equals 11, year fucking 11 for Muhammad. Not year 600. So, he's a fucktard, is what we're learning here. Once again. But, moving on, I'm going to go back to his video. I'll be back. Which I probably shouldn't have said, because I already said I wouldn't, but whatever. Fuck it, I don't care anymore. Okay, I'm going to unravel what he just said, because he just said, and I'm quoting this, once again, in my infallible fucking wisdom, he said, and I quote this, Muslims can be identified by their olive skin. Well, not all Muslims are Middle Easterners. Some are black men in America who follow the Nation of Islam, which is not actually Islamic. And there are those of you out there are going to be like, yes it is. No, it's not. They believe in aliens, for Christ's sake. I know, I saw it on TV. So it must be true. Actually, I could be completely wrong. That could just be shit they made up for TV. But anyway, It's not actually Islamic. But they believe themselves to be Islamic. Therefore, I'm going to count it. I'm going to fucking count it because they think it's true. And in religion, if you think it's true, it must be true. And since this argument's about religion, black people are Muslims too. Therefore, he's a fucking bigot again for assuming they're all Middle Eastern. And I'm pretty sure there are probably plenty of white Muslims. So, fuck him once again for being wrong. I'm right, he's not. Ha ha ha. Jerk me out. That was totally irrelevant, I'm sorry. Actually, you know what? It wasn't, because he's a bitch. And he should do that because he's scared of gays, and maybe if he knew some, he wouldn't be so fucking scared. And he probably does know some, because he's a Catholic. I mean, Catholicism is a big excuse for pedophilic butt sex once again. And I'm going to stop saying that now, because I'm offending even myself a little bit. No, I'm not. I'm lying. Whatever. I'm rambling. So ignore everything I just rambled about. Or don't. I really don't give a shit. I'm just going to go back to the actual video at hand now and try to stay on there. But if I don't, oh well. Fuck me. I don't care. Oh, I got more than 15 minutes. I don't know what that was either. Apparently I just made a jerk-off motion. So, yeah. I'm going to go back to the video. I don't know where this kid is getting his facts from, but apparently it's only Muslims who wear turbans and have olive skin. It's not like there are any Hindu Indians who believe that they have beards, olive skins, beards, olive skins, yes, olive skins, multiple. No, it's not just Muslims at all, no. It could never be Indians, it's just Muslims who have olive skin, large beards that are not well groomed in his opinion, which really means they're curly instead of straight fuck beards like the Nords or some shit. And I don't think he can really comment on facial hair, considering I don't think he's ever had the reason to shave. Because he says he's 19, but to me he looks like a fucking pre-puber with a chihuahua in his hand, which kind of proves to me he's a closet homosexual, because chihuahuas are not real dogs. It's just a fact. I'm sorry. Chihuahuas are not real dogs. No straight man has a chihuahua. It's not my fault. It's just a fact. I've come to learn that in life. I've never met a straight man with a chihuahua. Just haven't. Anyway, and he says they can all be identified by their turbans, unkempt beards, and olive skin. Which, if you've ever been to 7-Eleven in a major city, you know is untrue, because you know they're not Muslim, they're probably Indian, and probably Hindu or Buddhist. And again, I don't think Buddhist is a religion as much as a philosophy, but they do, so fuck it. Why not? He also says that 10% of them are jihadists, which I don't know where he's getting his fucking figures from. I'm pretty sure if 10% of them were jihadists, there'd be about 10% less Muslims on the earth at this point in time. Which means they probably wouldn't be as prevalent in religion as they are now, considering I think they're like the second largest religion on earth, quickly gaining to the first. So, I don't know. I think he's fucking stupid, but then again, I don't like religion either, so, I mean, I don't know who I should trust less. I'll be back. Okay, now he's just pretending he's not an American, which I'm guessing is probably bullshit, because he's speaking fucking English, so he's obviously an American too, and he's pretending he's not. He's trying to get some other country's terms for him, so he's obviously scared of the poor bastards, those poor Muslims, who are obviously 10% jihadist, which is sarcasm for those of you who can't tell. At least for me. I don't know if this kid's an internet troll or not, and if he is, I'm gonna fucking troll the shit out of him right back. So, I'm urging you to do the same, by the way. Troll the fuck out of this shit. Troll him. Tell him you're a hardcore Catholic and you want to get in a chat room with him or something. I don't know. And then just troll the fuck out of him from there. Send him, I don't really give a shit at this point how you troll him, just do it. Because he's a bitch, and he deserves it. And when a person is an asshole, they deserve to troll him. They always do. Yeah, I'm being an asshole to myself, so I'm probably going to get some trolls. So you know what? I'm cool with that. Troll for a troll, I guess. That's the best I got. Anyway, yeah. He says, in American terms, it means there are a bunch of American-killing bastards. Or, I'm kind of paraphrasing it, because I don't exactly remember after I've done all that ranting. But he's basically making Muslims out to be a bunch of American-hating fucks who want to kill us all. And if they ever got the chance to fly here, they'd start blowing the shit out of us with their AKs. Because they all own those, and they'll definitely get on planes easy as shit. Which they don't. If you've ever been to an airport, you know they don't. Because they will shove their fingers up your ass to find a bullet. They will. They will do it. If you have so much as a needle on you, they will have your ass arrested for terrorism, I guarantee it. If you look even the slightly bit non-white or non-black, your ass is going down. They're just going to do it because they're a bunch of bigots at the airport. That's how it works. They screen you based on race, regardless of what they say. It's based on whether or not you look Muslim. So I'll be back again. Okay, yeah, I don't know where this kid is coming up with his facts. because he says he's lost all respect for them. Oh, and by the way, found out Muslims actually do believe in Jesus, so he's fucking stupid. They believe they have the second prophet, not the first, so he obviously doesn't read enough. They can find that out. They believe in Jesus and actually respect him for the whole. And he says that he lost all respect for them. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah. I'm rambling here and I'm not giving you any good segues. So, on to the actual part of this little portion. This little 2-minute portion that's going to be of the video. He basically goes on to say he's lost all respect for them for, quote, 9/11, which it's not Muslims who caused 9/11, it's Al-Qaeda, a group of disenfranchised Muslims who have been tricked by Osama bin Laden, who's now dead, by the way, into believing that if they kill themselves while killing infidels, which, again, it's not actually in the Quran. This is not actually in the Quran, to the best of my knowledge. And I have a white friend, so I know he's not a Muslim, who's read this thing, and he has not found that shit. He's not found where it says, oh yeah, by the way, kill some infidels and you'll get 72 virgin whores, because, you know, that makes uber sense to have virgin whores. Because, you know, whores haven't already get fucked hard, so they're virgins. Anyway, I'm gonna take a drink real quick. My mouth tastes like beef jerky. There we go. He's lost all respect to them because of 9/11, which I've already explained how stupid that shit is. Because of the Tasmanian embassy bombing, which I'm not even sure what that is. I'm not going to take the time to look it up, but he probably is right, but it was probably also Al-Qaeda again, which again, disenfranchised Muslims, tricked by Osama bin Laden. So, fuck that kid for not doing his research and just going, oh, their fault, because they're Muslim, who did it, so all Muslims are bad, yay! Because he's obviously a fucktard, which I've explained about 30 times now. But I'm going to keep doing it, because that's what this video is about. This is my diatribe against this little shit. And here's the thing, I probably have more time for videos than he does, because he's a bitch, and I'm not. No, it's actually because I have good videos that make sense, instead of him having ramble, racist, hate videos, which are what they are, which I'm pretty sure is in violation of some sort of YouTube term of agreement. I don't know. Could be totally wrong, but I'm probably right, because, you know, I'm smarter than this fuck by about 800%. Or as many memes on the internet would say, over 9,000. Which is a stupid meme, but whatever. He basically explains that they also use uranium to poison innocent Catholics in the Middle East, because they do that a lot, and Muslims definitely have access to uranium all the time, and it wouldn't kill them at all to be handling a radioactive material, and the only way they could without getting caught with a fucking radioactive material, which is unprotected. It wouldn't kill them at all to be handling enough uranium to poison Catholics. I'm sorry, but that's fucking stupid. If he understood how nuclear technology works, he would understand how dumb that fucking thought is. I'll be back. This kid's... Okay. Jesus Christ. I'm actually getting tired of making fun and trolling this bitch. This little bitch of a man. I'm actually getting tired, which is difficult. It's actually taken me this long. Wow. 30-some odd minutes. I'm sorry. He believes that the best solution is to get rid of Muslims and their problem for the world, which is stupid considering it hasn't worked for America yet, is to build a giant fence around all Muslim countries, particularly Saudi Arabia, like they did on the U.S.-Mexican border. Now, I don't know if he knows this, but that fence is not actually completed. Mexicans get in all the time. Secondly, those nations do have airports, so regardless of whether or not you put a fence around it, they're going to find a way out. Whether that means knocking down the fucking fence, or part of it, or climbing it, or getting out somehow, because they're going to do it. You can't build a fence around Saudi Arabia, 1, without them noticing, 2, without being attacked by, like, every other nation ever, because, guess what? Pretty sure the UN would get a little fucking pissed off. Just a little pissed off. And as we all know, UN's a lot bigger than the US, considering they have, like, the 5.7 billion people that are not in America on their side. If we fuck with them, just saying. They have about, oh, I don't know. This is like, I'm pulling this number out of my ass, by the way, so if I get it wrong, it's because I pulled it out of my ass, I'm not actually thinking about it. They probably have like, what, 200-300 times what America has in people? I think they've got us locked down pretty well. So I don't think we're going to be building a border fence around Saudi fucking Arabia anytime soon, considering that's not the only Muslim nation that has made, not, they haven't made it in particular, that has had people make problems for it who've come from their nation. You get what I mean by that? They're not the only country who's had people that are terrorists come and attack America. There have been plenty of others like Yemen and all those other ones that I can't name off the top of my head, like Iraq and Iran. Which again, by the way, Saddam Hussein did not shelter terrorists, so if you're a Republican and you believe that shit, shove it up your ass. Because it's not true. Once again, I'll be back. Here we go, he's gotten to my best part. Not my best part, his best part. Part about Buddhists, where he calls them dirty, dirty hippies, who can be identified by their Asian scowl and their braided hair and their orange jumpsuits, which, by the way, not jumpsuits, robes. Fuck robes. There's a big goddamn difference between fucking jumpsuits and robes. I don't know if you knew that, but I knew that. So, fuck me, I'm right, again. I'm the redneck white man American. Totally. Oh wait, no I'm not. I'm the least redneck of the two of us, and he's a fucking Mexican. And that's not racist, it's true. He's Hispanic. Look at it. Look at the little shit. Also, he apparently does not have a color camera to use, I don't know why. I think it's a thing with Christians when they post videos on YouTube that they have to be like black and white unless they're talking about abortion soup or something, which is, that's another video. Don't look that up because it's not the actual name of the video. It's some video about why someone believes abortion is wrong, or like they should feed the fetuses in a soup to the whores who get abortions after they're done as a first meal afterwards. Don't bother with that. That's totally extraneous from this video, even though he probably believes abortion is bad too, like a fucking bitch, because, you know, people don't have the right to their body at all. No, never. Okay, I don't know why he's making trouble for Buddhists, considering what he just said. He just said, and I quote this, and this is really a direct quote, because I'm going to remember this very well for the rest of my life. He said, "The Buddhists are a bunch of hippies, or people who cause no harm to the rest of society." His words, not mine. And he's gonna trash them anyway, because they don't want to go out and kill infidels, like he does, obviously. Because, you know, I'm not a jihadist, so I'm fucking better than them. Ha ha ha, I win. Apparently that's his argument for himself. So, yeah, whatever. Okay, yeah, I'm about to start getting really pissed off, and I'm gonna fucking start trolling this kid hardcore and fucking reporting him for fucking posting hate speech, eventually. If he makes any more videos like this, I'm fucking reporting him for hate speech, because this is just bullshit at this point. He's attacking perfectly fine, peace-loving people, and calling them secret Satanists, which, by the way, goes against something he said later in the video, about 2 minutes later. He does a total 100 fucking 80, not 360. I don't know why I said 3 fucking 60, or why I was going to, because that's like turning all the way around and just going the same way after a quick spin. He does a complete 180. But he says they don't have a god, and they're secretly evil Satanists whose rituals involve incense. Let's start with the fact that, one, you cannot be Satanist, which says later in the video, it says this exact thing, and this is probably the only thing I agree with him on in the entire video, is that in order to be a Satanist, you have to believe in God and Satan. He says they're secretly Satanists with no god. I'm sorry, does that contradict what he says 2 minutes fucking later? Think about it for a minute. First he says they don't have a god, which means they don't believe in a god. Oh, period. And they're secretly Satanists. Then 2 minutes later he says, Satanists are evil. And they know that they're doing wrong, because in order to believe in Satan, you have to believe in God. And if someone's a Satanist, which he says Buddhists are, says they're secret Satanists, they must believe in Satan. And by his same logic, they must believe in God. But he says they have no God. So obviously, fuck hard, because he's not following his own shit logic. Then he goes on to say, and I know this because they're all using incense in their rituals, much like Satanists and Egyptians. Well, let's start with the fact that, one, Buddhism is not a religion, therefore it has no ritual. It is a philosophy, and the only thing they practice that I've ever seen practiced before in my life is meditation. Meditation is not a ritual, it is the act of sitting down, breathing, and contemplating. I can do that, and I don't have to call it meditation, or have it as part of a religion. I can just sit down, close my eyes, and think. Everyone can do that. He could fucking do that. And if he's calling that part of a ritual, he obviously is Satanist too, by his logic anyway, mine. I'm not fucking stupid like this shit. By his sane theory, if he ever stops, sits down, and thinks about anything for more than 5 seconds, which he obviously doesn't do also, because he's not a Satanist. If he ever thought about anything for more than 5 seconds, he'd realize how fucking dumb he is. He obviously is a Satanist if he ever thought about anything for more than 5 seconds without going, oh, Jesus, that's why, haha, jerk me off. Because this is fucking stupid. He says they're evil because they use incense. Now, Not only did the Egyptians use it, which I've never heard in my life of an Egyptian using it. I'll admit, Satan's probably use it. They probably do. Guess who else uses it? I'll give you a hint. It's the people who defend the Catholic motherfucking Church. They use incense all the time. They always have. As all of the sects of Christianity in the existence of ever. Mormons, Protestants, and Catholics, and Orthodox churches alike have all used incense in their religious practices and ceremonies and rituals, which is called going to fucking church, if you don't know what I mean. They're all practices of ritual and religion. Now, I think someone knocked at my door again, so I'm going to check. I'll be right back. Okay, once again I was wrong. It was my downstairs neighbors doing shit, and wow, I'm actually coming up on the 1 hour mark. I hope you people are in for a treat. This is going to be a 1 hour fucking video. This little shit has his way. Once again, you know what, fuck it, I'm not even going to tell you this time. I'm just going to stop capturing for a second. Okay, he's fucking stupid. His identifying factors for Buddhists include, and I'm quoting this once again, they're bald heads. Okay, well, let's start with this. Not all Buddhists have bald heads. I have 2 friends who are Buddhists. Neither of them has a bald head. They both have hair on their head. In fact, their hair is quite long. For most modern men who, in the most part, if you're in high school, would be completely self-conscious about having hair longer than mine. And they definitely have hair longer than mine. And mine is not that long, but their hair is about down to here, give or take this area. Trust me, they're not bald. He says they can be identified by either that or braids in their hair, which, once again, I don't know where he's pulling this shit from. Because it sounds like he's pulling it out of his ass, while I pulled that number out of my ass earlier, about 200 or something. He's so fucking stupid. My friends definitely do not have braids in their hair either, so there's that. The only person I know with a braid in her hair is not a Buddhist. I don't even know what religion she is. The only reason she has that braid is because she has a one of those other fuck things people put in their hair these days, the blue and black feather. She has that into a braid. Hair that's not feathered. So that's the only person I know with a braid. She's sure shit not a Buddhist. So there's that one. He said they can also be identified by their squinty Asian eyes. Really, it's sounding like it's coming up with racial stereotypes now. Be a jack-off. Be a fucking bigot like Hitler. Well, you know, Hitler, I'm not Hitler, if you ever comment like that. And say, dude, you're no worse than... No, not no worse. You're fucking worse than Hitler. Hitler fucking loved Aryans. Since that comes from India, where Buddhism and Hinduism come from. He loves it. He's worse than Hitler. This kid is fucking worse than Hitler. And if he ever gets in power, or anyone like him ever gets in power in any nation as strong as the U.S., we're fucked. We are totally, utterly fucked. Disregard everything ever and try to kill off anything that's not Christian. And he'll segregate anyone that's Catholic from Catholics who is a Christian. Regardless of whether or not they're Christian, he'll segregate them. If they're not a Christian at the very minimum, he'll fucking kill them off. Jews, Buddhists, Muslims, they'll die if someone like him or ever get in power. I guarantee it. And if you're just a Christian, like a Protestant, a Mormon, or an Orthodox, or what's the other one? Nope, those are all I got for Christianity other than Catholic. If you're one of those 3, they'll get segregated from the Catholics, who will obviously get to lord over you and go, I'm leaving the pair if you suck my balls, yes. All day long if they really want to. So once again, if this kid ever were to get any power, or anyone like him, or to get any power over any nation, I'd probably kill him. Because that would be bad for the world. It really would. Well, again, back to the video. He really just said, if you're watching this video while I'm talking, in between me, every time I say I'm about to stop, if you're watching this video alongside my video, alongside his video, I should say, this video being my video, his video being fucking his video, which is fucking dumb, by the way. The fact that he didn't even make a video. That you've just heard what I've heard. They live mostly in Asia, in this hippie-infested country I live in. I don't think he's ever met a European, because I know there are plenty of European Buddhists. He's also apparently never realized that when he says Asia, he should probably mean mostly Japan and India, considering China suppresses almost all religions, especially Buddhist religions. Any sect of Buddhism, whether it's a sect that believes in him as Buddha as a god, which, by the way, just one of his earlier points about they have no god, because some of them believe Buddha is a god. I mean, some of them believe Buddhism is a philosophy that teaches you to act better towards your fellow man, which is what I believe personally, is that it's a philosophy to make you act better towards your fellow man. But, once again, beyond the point, he says they are mostly located in India and, quote, this hippie-infested country I live in. Once again, moving my point, he can't refer to America in the third person because he is part of us. He is an American as well. So fuck him in the ass with a dildo that his Catholic priest probably owns. Because that's bullshit. Saying they mostly reside in this hippie-infested country I live in, he should go fuck himself. Because guess what? Jesus was just as much of a hippie as them. He preached for free love. Not like butt-sex free love, but like just free love. Like act kindly towards your brother. At least that's the best of my knowledge on the Christian religion, which has been warped out of control by most major sects of it in the eternity of ever. So, once again, I'll go back to the video. Okay, once again, if you're watching it alongside me, you just heard what I've heard. Once again, now we're moving on to Satanist. His gay little chihuahua, still in his hand, clutched tightly like the Manolo Blahnik purse his mommy fucks him with every night. Because, you know, he's a homosexual again. He likes it in the poop chute. He likes it in his shit trap. That's what I'm saying. And no. Actually, you know what? Not gay, because that's an insult to homosexuals everywhere. It is. It really is. Because they're smarter than this little fuck. Every single one of them smarter than this little fuck. Doesn't matter if it's a retarded person who's gay. Still smarter than this shit. He says, quote, let's move on to modern Satanists. Okay, let's start with the fact that's not real religion recognized any nation on the face of the fucking planet. Because here's the thing, it's once again just an excuse for you to justify any act you want. Act individually. Which, you know what, I believe you should act individually, but once again, you shouldn't need a fake religion to say you can do so. You should do so, okay? Stop being a bitch and just do it, okay? Just be a big boy. You can do this yourself. You don't need Anton Vega. Oh, yes, you can do whatever you want after you suck my balls and buy my book. Yes, 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 yes. And for those of you who don't know what this motion is I'm making right here, it's me mocking, like, the French wine glass swirl that douchebags do when they have wine or anything to drink ever. But anyway, video, going back. Once again, I'm assuming at this point you're probably watching alongside me, considering I've said it about 3 times now. Probably watching the video alongside me. You just heard what I heard then. And I'll admit I skipped through a little bit, so I don't want to go just watching that video a little bit forward. But he said, and I quote this, I'm sorry, I can't remember, I have to go back. Okay, never mind myself what I was going to say. He just proves my point that I stated earlier about him hating Buddhists because, quote, they're godless people, which means they're Satanists. Because he's fucking right all the time. Yes, that's a redneck uber Christian asshole voice. Note, if you're a redneck uber Christian, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking to others. Okay? Yeah. Sorry, my TV distracted me. Anyway, he just says everything that proves his logic sucks dick at all times, ever. And that if he's a troll, he's the shittiest troll ever of anything at all. Because he says, and I quote this, in order to be a Satanist, you need to believe in God. Well, didn't he say earlier that Buddhists are Satanists, and at the same time they don't believe in God? Think about it. He's fucking dumb. He's just proved my point if you're watching this. Alongside me, if you're watching this video. You know he's just proved my point. That I stated earlier. Or if you're watching it after you watch me, proving my point. He's fucking stupid. That's my point. He doesn't know how to use good logic to figure anything out. He just goes, well, the Catholic priest told me so after fucking me in the butt with a candlestick, so it must be true. That's his logic. And I use that voice, because once again, he's not straight. While he might not be gay, he's definitely not straight. Only a furry. Because that fucking chihuahua he has. Fucking chihuahua's not a real dog. Sorry, it's just not. Back to the video. If this kid... Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, bro. What's okay for this one is what he just said. Because he now moved on to other Christians other than Catholic Christians. Which, once again, he didn't say Catholic right. Once again, he said fucking wrong because he's stupid. He's moved on to the other Christians, which basically means Protestants. Okay? Lutherans and Protestants are the exact same thing. Protestant is an all-encompassing term for any Catholic religion. Catholic, yeah, no, not any Catholic, sorry. Any Christian religion that shot off after the Martin Luther. Now, I'm not talking about Martin Luther King Jr., I'm talking about, or Martin Luther King Sr., I'm talking about Martin Luther. Man in, like, 1600s England, who during the Tudor era split off from the Catholic Church because they had become corrupt, which they still are, because they're paying off money that's given to them by people to maintain their church. It's given back to those same people so that their priests don't go to jail for butt-fucking their sons. Ringing any bells? Because it's totally ringing bells for me. Not personal bells, just like bells in general. He's... Sorry, I completely lost my train of thought from rambling again. And the fact that this has actually taken 50 minutes to make. It's going to take more than 50 fucking minutes, I guarantee it. I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah. Protestant... He says Protestant wrong. He said Protestant, which, while in theory is correct, is not correct pronunciation. Because while Protestant does come from the word protest, because they were protesting the corruption of Catholic Church when they offshot, being a Protestant just means that you're not a Catholic, you are a member of a religion that offshot from Catholicism, and you do not believe the Pope is the direct descendant of God. If you're not Orthodox, you're not Mormon, and you're not Catholic, you are a Protestant, which means you are either You can be a Lutheran. There are a couple others. Baptist, Pentecostal, things like that. Basically, it's any one of the smaller sects, like Buddhism, Unitarianism, Lutheranism, Baptism. I probably said Baptist. I meant Baptist on that one, but I probably already said that. And Congregational, thing like that. If it's not Catholic, Orthodox, or Mormon, it's Protestant, regardless of what the name is. It's still Protestant, because it means it's an offshoot of Catholic Church, and their real unifying, they only have one unifying factor. It's the same thing to everyone in the Protestant groups of religion. They only have one factor that is the same for all of them across the board, and that is they do not believe the Pope is the direct incarnation of Jesus or God, and that he does not have, and they think he does not have power over anything ever, which they're fucking right. He's bullshit artist. That's what he is. Because if it's true that the Pope is the true incarnation of Jesus, God's obviously racist, because there's never been a black Pope. Look it up. It's true. There's never been a black fucking Pope in the world. Anyway, gonna get more stuff to fuck with him about now. Just so you don't have to. You can watch my 60-minute diatribe instead of his 4-minute video to conclude that he's an idiot. So I can explain it for you, because I need something to do. Sorry, I cut off on accident there. I just need to make sure you heard, because I need something to I need you to hear that. Moving on. Well, first part he got wrong about that. Besides the fact he can't pronounce Protestant, he doesn't know that Protestant is any religion other than Catholic, Mormon, or Orthodox. He seems to think that Catholicism is the first form of Christianity. It's not. Orthodox Christian, it means you follow Christianity exactly. Orthodox was the first form of Christianity. Catholicism was the Roman form that came about in Rome after the fucking Caesar of Rome, the Emperor of Rome. Caesar is Roman for emperor, by the way. It's Latin for emperor, I should say. Roman's not an actual language, it's Latin. It's Latin for emperor. After the Roman emperor, I think it was Constantine, if I remember correctly, yeah, it's Constantine. I should know this, I learned that last year, fucking high school. I should know this by now. The Emperor Constantine accepted Christianity. Now, he was not the first one to do this. The first one to do this was the Emperor Justinian. No, wait. Sorry, I'm getting this, fucked in my head. Emperor Constantine was the one in the Eastern Roman Empire. He was the first one to accept it. He was not a Catholic. That's why Constantinople is called Constantinople, the Emperor Constantine. He accepted Christianity first. He was an Orthodox Christian. He was not a Catholic. Catholicism is the second form after it spread to Rome, or the Western Roman Empire. Sorry, I got facts fucked up there for a minute. It's been a year since I learned this shit. Give me a break. I'm not using Wikipedia as much as I should. Because Wikipedia is reliable, you know. Anyway, Catholicism is actually the second form, which, while it did form parallel to Orthodox Christianity, is not the first form of Christianity to come out. God, what the fuck? Yeah, my mouth is all fucked up. I need another drink real quick. I'm gonna need to get water in a minute. It is the second form to come about, although it is not an offshoot of Orthodox Christianity. It formed parallel to. It's not the first. Second. Anyone who says otherwise is fucking wrong, because that's just how it happened. I don't make this shit up. I learn it, and then I regurgitate it to you, and half the time fuck it up, because I want to. Or because I'm trolling. I'm kidding about that, by the way. I'm rambling now. I should stop rambling, and get back to the fucking video. So I'll do that. Okay. He really doesn't seem to get geography at all, because his argument for Catholicism being the first form of Christianity, which once again, it's not. Orthodox Christianity is. He doesn't seem to understand geography. He says it spread to Rome from the apostles in Israel. Now, considering it's never been said that they traveled by boat directly to fuck Rome, that means one of them, or two maybe, it means that if any of them, I should say, were to travel to Rome, they would have to go through the Eastern Roman Empire. Now, anyone who understands geography would understand that means they have to at some point cross through Constantinople and spread it to people in Constantinople, wherein Constantine would accept it, and Eastern Roman Empire becomes Christian, Orthodox Christian. That is why the Orthodox Christians still use Cyrillic as their language. Not language, written thing, alphabet, fucking words today, sorry. Which means that's the first. Give me one moment, I have to check something once again, because I still think someone's knocking on my door, and I'm obviously retarded, and it's probably just my neighbors. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I thought, once again, my neighbors were knocking, and once again, I was fucking wrong. But anyway, I will get on to fucking with this again. and proving him wrong at every turn he comes up with. Because now I believe it's probably less than a minute left in his video. Yeah, it's not even a minute left in the video. It's like 20 seconds of him coming up with bullshit arguments why his religion's right and yours is wrong. Besides the fact that there are dozens of religions in the world and they all claim to be right. And this is the argument I'm talking about in the Foundational Falsehoods of Creationism, which, once again, is going to be in the link below. Probably because I just fucking love that series of videos because they're so fucking right about everything. There are dozens of religions, all with holy books, claiming to be the right ones. If there was a God and he was going to put out literature, don't you think it could be fucking irrefutable? Think about it. But anyway, I'm going to get back to my diatribe against the kid instead of religion itself. Because I'm not going to attack religion, it's pointless. The internet is a pointless place to attack religion because nothing gets solved there. I'm going to attack the kid's stupid beliefs about how all the other religions are wrong. And he lives in America. We have a fucking amendment here called the First Amendment. And there's a reason it's the First Amendment, because it's the most important amendment, and that is freedom of expression, which means freedom of religion, freedom of the press, freedom of speech, freedom to gather peacefully. 4 things right there. Now, considering religion is 2 of them, I love how that happened. The freedom to gather peacefully, first and foremost, and the freedom to religion, to believe what you want to believe, no matter how fucking stupid it is. And he doesn't seem to get that. And he just seems to think, oh, well, since I believe it, it must be part of my religion because everyone else is fucking stupid. Like, it's the only God complex he could possibly have is a retarded one like that, where he's this stupid. So, anyway, I'm going to get back to it. And yes, I have a God complex too, before you comment. I have a fucking God complex coming out my ass. I'm a narcissistic shitface. That's how life works here. The only difference is, I don't act like a dick about every little thing and say, well, I'm Catholic, so I must be right. That's not my argument. My arguments are based on logic. And that's why I'm narcissistic, because I actually take the time to earn it. Okay, now he's come up with some bullshit math equation that doesn't exist, and he somehow Second. I have to check something again, because apparently I'm hearing things. Okay, my neighbors are trying to piss me off, but look at me, this will be over in a few minutes, so I won't have to interrupt this anymore for their bullshit. So, sorry, I have to remind myself. Okay, he came up with a fake equation that I've never heard called the mathematical equation of, he said pandas. I could be wrong. I don't think the mathematical fucking equation of pandas exists. Considering pandas don't know how to do math. It's just a fact. Sorry. And somehow he's paralleled a fake equation that doesn't exist to Christianity. His argument is that, quote, well, Catholics and Christians are on the same page, Catholics are doing it right, and Christians are doing it wrong. Which is bullshit, because I don't think any mathematical equation has ever fucking proven that. I should know. I'm in grade level math from high school, which is topics fuck 2. Because I'm a sophomore, and that's what I'm supposed to fucking take. I've never heard a mathematical equation of fucking pandas. Dumbest shit I've ever heard. Mathematical equation of fuck pandas, dude. Shit. Someone should look that up and message me and tell me if that's real or not, because if it is, I'm gonna fucking laugh my balls off and then troll this kid for being such a douchebag to believe that. Anyway, let me get back to the video. Okay, there's really not a lot I can say about the last, like, 5-10 seconds of the video. It's basically him saying, thanks for watching, that's the sum of my views. But I'm not going to the last part, because it's, please, for your sake, convert to Catholicism. Like, he has some right to condescend to me about what I should and should not believe. Listen, kid, while I hate this argument for the most part, I really do, because it's called Pascal's Wager, and I fucking hate Pascal because he's a douchebag uber Catholic who should punch the nuts for being such an asshole and not realizing his logic sucks so much dick. Because this is, quote, Pascal's argument. I'm quoting this because I've read Richard Dawkins' The God Theory, and I've memorized this fucking theory like that. I can pull this fucking theory out of my head, know it, with just the name, Pascal's Wager. I could tell you exactly what that is. And I'm convinced at this point, this kid's argument for it, he's deluded himself into believing it so much that at this point, he wants everyone to believe it. It's like he's a fucking moron or something. And because he's an idiot, everyone else has to be an idiot, or else he'll feel bad about himself. So we should all do it for him. Actually, that's probably not true, but I'm rambling at this point. So I'm going to get to the actual thing I'm trying to say. He's basically coming up with shit like it's Pascal's Wager. Pascal's Wager is a wager that states, and I'm going to probably put a link to this too, for like a Wikipedia page, because I don't really give a shit all that much whether or not you know it. If you really want to know, go like a local library or bookstore and buy The God Theory by Richard Dawkins, or just read the fucking like 5 pages on Pascal's Wager. But what it states basically is that a man named Pascal said, I will prove purely with my logic that God is real. Which, by the way, he doesn't actually prove that God's real. He just gives you a reason of why you should pretend to believe in God, which is bullshit. And last time I checked, in all fucking Christian religions, it's a sin to lie to anyone, including yourself. And he says, if you do believe in God and you're wrong, nothing happens. But if you don't believe in God and you're wrong, you go to hell. So you should believe in God so you don't go to hell. Because either way, you're safe. But if you don't believe in God, you're fucked. Or you're safe. Which basically means about 75% of the things you can do is safe. Except for not believing in God and being fucked wrong. Which I know this seems weird that I did this for it, but I talk with my hands, so get over it. I was trying to illustrate like a fake 4 square thing with different options in it that they do at fucking team building meetings and corporations and shit. But basically, it comes down to, if you are wrong about there is no God, you're going to hell, so your 25% of your chances fucks you in the ass immediately. But if you cut it in half, just, if you believe in God, you're safe. If you don't believe in God, you're probably fucked. It comes out to about 50-50 of, well, do you really want to test it? You should just be Christian. Even if you don't truly believe it in your heart of hearts, which, according to the Catholics, by the way, fucking sin. So, ha ha ha. If you believe it because of Pascal's wager, you're fucked if there's really a God. What he basically states is that if you believe in God, you're safe. If you don't believe in God, there's a pretty good chance you're fucked in the ass. Pretty good chance. And that doesn't work because that's the same theory as we should prepare for dragons and vampires and zombies. Well, if there aren't vampires, dragons, and zombies, and you do prepare for them, what you did was waste a little fucking money. But if there are and you don't, you die. But if there are and you do, you might be safe. And if there aren't and you didn't, you're still safe, no matter what. But since we all know those things don't fucking exist, what's the point? So, by that logic, it's fucking stupid. I'm not even sure if those two things parallel, but I just want to throw that in there at the end. Because at this point I might as well, right? So yeah. The kid's an idiot. He's basically using it as a recruiting technique for his warped, psychotic church, which in my eyes is no better than Scientology. The only difference is Scientology is new, and it's from like the 50s, and it was formed by a paranoid schizophrenic. And I can't prove whether or not Jesus was real, and if he was, I can't prove whether or not he was a fucking schizo. So, that's my really only parallel I can prove, is that Scientology is new, Christianity is old, and you pay a shitload more over your lifetime for Scientology than you do for Christianity. Christianity is like $1 a week or two if you go to a church every week. Scientology is like 60 fucking bucks just for a book. And then who knows how many fucking thousands for Beaton readings. So basically, it's the same fucking thing, and whether or not you're one religion or the other, you can't judge another religion, and this kid is a douchebag for doing so. That's the end result of what you should learn from this. If you judge another religion, and you are a member of a religion, you are a fucking religious hypocrite, and you should stop it. Stop it right now. Stop criticizing other religions. You don't have any right to do so, because you believe in something that, if you look at them in parallel and do not add in all the rhetoric and bullshit to surround it, is just as crazy. It's judging something else that is, in essence, the same thing. Think about it. Say you're a Muslim and you judge Christianity. You're a Muslim. You believe in a man in the sky who will send you to a place down below the earth filled with fire and brimstone, with a man who will fuck you in the ass with a pitchfork, because that man was thrown there because he pissed God off, or Allah as the Muslims call him. But you're judging the Christians for believing, in essence, the same exact thing, because they believe in a man in the sky as well, who will send you to hell after judging you when you die, or a place filled with fire and brimstone under the earth, as they call it, with a man who pissed God off once again, who will fuck you in the ass with fire and brimstone and his fucking pitchfork. So being a member of any one religion and judging another member of another religion, or any religion at all, you don't get that right anymore. You've lost that right by being a member of any religion. That's why I'm allowed to do this, because I'm an atheist. I don't believe in religion. I'm allowed to judge other religions purely by their essence and their craziness at the heart of it. Because, sorry, but the thought that there's a man up above me who watches everything I do and says, he just whacked off. Hell, sorry, that thought, it's kind of ridiculous. If you think about it in its purest essence of, there's a man in the sky watching you who's going to send you to get ass fucked by a pitchfork in a place filled with fire and hatred. It's kind of the opposite of what you want to do, isn't it? Because if I'm... And that's, like, the shittiest logic ever, because if that guy pissed God off, and you're pissing God off, he doesn't want to kill you. He's your friend. He's not going to sit there and say, seems you pissed my boss off. You're after fucking the ass piss poor. I hope you know that. He's not going to do that. He's going to, like, see the sore over here? Big tits? Cocaine on our ass? Here's 100. Go to town. And for those of you who get that reference, I'm actually proud of you. I can't remember his name. I think it's like Jim Jeffries or something. You get that reference? I'm proud of you. Fucking proud of you. If you don't like that reference, however, not so much. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this hour of semi-rambling and ranting about what equates to a religious lunatic on the internet who's far too young to have any reason to do so, and why you should not judge other religions if you are a member of any religion, or if you even believe in God, in the thought that he could send you to hell. So, have a good day, or night, or whatever the fuck you're at this point of watching this. Yeah, thanks for watching, sort of, I guess. Do whatever you want at this point. You should probably troll that kid, though. So, have a great day, or night, or whatever. I'm gonna stop rambling now. Just have a good whatever the fuck time it is where you live, watching this. And if you so choose, I'm gonna put the link down below. Go troll the kid who posted that bullshit, all that bullshit about religions that are not Catholic being wrong. Go ahead, troll them. I won't stop you. Do whatever you want. If you want to get some ideas, go to like encyclopedia dramatica for some troll ideas. So I will make a video some other time about methaqualone, because right now I don't have any more energy in me to make videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.